Time for the last race of the opening round of the season. It is the top 36 senior road tax final. Let's take you through the starting grid. It's been a clean sweep all weekend long for Jaden Teen on a maximum score of 225 points, putting on pole position Sverre Ubben, who has been the closest competitor in terms of race wins, is alongside on the front row. Macaulay Bishop and Archie Buttle will be on row number 2. Kai Hunter and Robbie Storder, row 3. Jort van Wyk and Armand Hamilton complete the top 4 rows. And then completing the top 10, it's an all-Belgian row 5. It's going to be Lawrence Herbols and Vic Stevens. Teresa Babichkova and Fast Freddie Ingram will be on row 6 with Matilda Denkovic and Knut Nielsen, row 7. Gustav Zusakovs and Jan Pinto, row 8. Row 9, Tom Lenoir will be joined by Thomas Behrman. Bolowetz and Ollie Yonkers making an all-dams racing, row 10, completing the top 20. Rounding out the 36-strong grid, Julian Glosman, Devian Horst, Mika van der Pavert, Elia Papacina, Alex Duncan, Wood Kirstens, Danny Shields, Mario Sidler, Ruben Verheyen, George Nassar, Artyom Sestakos, Sebastian Koch, Lauren Legault, Benjamin Van Hees, Omar Ganum and Tonis Johannes Tomingas from Estonia, rounding out the 36-strong grid. "14 minutes plus an additional lap on the timer. The drivers now make their way out of the final corner. Into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are on, lights are out, we're underway. And everyone making their way into turns 1 and 2. It's a Dan Holland racing 1-2 because Macaulay Bishop has got himself up into second position. Sverre Ubben is being swamped at the moment. Through into turns 3. There is a little incident coming through, and that's Jan Pinto out on the spot after turn 3. The 393 from Israel is suddenly eliminated from the final. And I can see that the top 3 have broken away. One of the KR Sport drivers, that's the 322 Archie Buttle, is the cork in the bottle. There's Teresa Babichkova, and she's being passed one way than the other. I think also there was another. Now, I did see that Gustav Zusakovs may not have made it onto the starting grid and may have started from the repair area. But at the moment, it's Jaden Teen, Macaulay Bishop, Kai Hunter, Archie Buttle, Robbie Storder, Jort van Wyk, Vic Stevens, Armand Hamilton, Teresa Babichkova and Sverre Ubben rounding out the top 10. So Sverre Ubben not getting off to the best start. May have been the case that Gustav Zusakos might have been a non-starter on that. Well, he's actually showing up twice on the timing, so Gustav Zusakos is currently 19th. So the top 3, now it looks like they might have sorted the issue possibly on Bishop's kart. He may have been conserving a little bit as well in the superheat. As there is going to be a change a little bit further back outside. So we've had somebody go off the circuit. Big time coming out of turn number 12. But Bishop keeping Teen very, very honest. Was 0.136 behind the Flying Dutchman at the sharp end of the field after the opening 2 laps. So what Bishop is doing here is tactical. It is a case of, right, I'm going to work with Jaden. I'm going to let him pull me along. And Hunter also seems to have the same strategy in mind. Let the guys in front pull me along. I'm using less fuel. I might be able to conserve my tyres that little bit more as we count the timer down. There has been a change for fourth, and that will be in the hands of Robbie Stordeur in the 317. Vic Stevens looks up the inside of Archie Buttle into turns 1 and 2 and gets past the 322 from the United Kingdom. Teresa Babichkova now is in 7th, being chased down by Thomas Behrman. But in the meantime, there has been a change for 2nd. Hunter through on Bishop. At this point of the race, it's not about having that sign of desperation. Yes, there is a sign of urgency. We have seen multiple signs of desperation all through the previous races, especially in yesterday's 15 heats. But when the sign of urgency comes from your mechanic on the gantry on the outskirts of the final corner, you will see it, you will take notice, and you'll pick up the pace. And now Hunter goes for the lead. Again, this is strategic. It's also a good feeling leading for a lap or two. And if you think, well, hang on, I'm fed up of leading, I want to conserve a little bit. Mechanical sympathy, tyre sympathy is also another thing that you have to consider when it comes to karting. You are very much exposed, unlike a composite monocoque with a single seater as a prime example. You are exposed. You need to be very, very careful about how you put your best foot forward and whether it's worth making that move. You know, the old adage of risk versus reward. Now, these top three have got about a 3-second gap at least over those behind. So after lap 5, the top three covered by 3/10. Then it is 3 seconds back to 4th. That's now being occupied by Vic Stevens, Robbie Stordeur in 5th, Archie Buttle, Teresa Babichkova, Thomas Behrman. Now we also see Armand Hamilton, and one of the biggest movers in the field so far, up 14 places, it is Elia Papasena. So Papasena, again a driver that hasn't had a good run in time qualifying. Looking at it from this perspective, Papasena qualified 28th out of 70 drivers. Scored 100 points through the heats and the super heats and has managed to get into the top 36. We've had a little bit of a coming together, and that is at turn 7, so yellow flags will be out. No overtaking at the end of the Europalan. And Matej Radenkovic is one of those that have been impacted. His race is done. Oh, I'm wondering, it's Knud Nielsen that looks to be the other driver. So Radenkovic and Nielsen out on lap 5 of this race. But each of these three keeping each other very, very honest. And I spoke to Kai Hunter in the lunch break and he said, just watch, the gloves will be off. And now Jaden Teen attempts to go for the race lead. Kai Hunter covers him off nicely, but Teen has just got through at turn 3. Bishop gets through at turn 4. There you go. Switch around within 2 corners. Hunter drops from 1st down to 3rd. Jaden Teen had the run out of turn 2. Lined it up nice and neatly through into 3. So, again, a big thank you to Team MKG for their assistance. So there's going to be a slightly extended yellow flag period up at turn 7. But the battle for 4th backwards is starting to get a little bit closer entwined. So Thien leads from Bishop, Hunter in 3rd, Stevens, Stordeur, Buttle now goes for 5th and goes over Oh, dearie me. And Robbie Stordeur is out of the race. And the engine and... I really feel for drivers when that kind of thing happens. Buttle went for the move and went straight over the right side, completely making a mess of the radiator and the engine on the right-hand side of Robbie Stordeur's kart. And no surprise, the frustration for the Belgian, clear and evident for everyone to see. So now it has changed between the top three again, but it's Jaden Teen still holding on to the lead. 5.5 minutes to go. Second is Kai Hunter. Macaulay Bishop has not let go, and he still holds on to third place. So I hope, I'm wondering whether Archie Buttle, whether his kart or his chassis may have sustained some damage, because that was a big hit in terms of the chassis coming down, the tyres coming down, whether that's caused a problem with steering or maybe tie rod, track rod, not 100% sure, but that will be reflected in Archie Buttle's pace. Now the top two are starting to stretch their legs a little bit more. Jaden Teen leads Kai Hunter onto lap 11. Hunter sets the fastest lap of the race, and now Behrman does so. Then Sverre Ubben, who's down in 10th. Let's not forget Sverre Ubben started on the front row alongside the race leader, Jaden Teen. So we have got a time penalty for 2 wheels out of the tram lines. That's for the 346. For 2 wheels outside of the tram lines. Also, the 393 has just copped a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. So that will have been Jan Pinto, even though he retired on the opening lap. So the gap between the top three after 11 laps of racing, we still have 3.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. It was 0.63 between Jaden Teen, Kai Hunter and Macaulay Bishop. Now Macaulay Bishop, I think, might be putting his sensible head on and just deciding, right, okay, those two are in front of me. If something happens, I am pretty much there or thereabouts. But he will realise, and he'll see it. Oh, we've got a time penalty coming in for Archie Buttle. That is more than likely. I am waiting, and it has been, I'm just waiting for it to be confirmed on the announcements on the live timing. We've got also a penalty for the 342, Armand Hamilton coming through. But Archie Buttle, that is more than likely going to be for the incident with Robbie Stordeur through at turn number 2. And this battle here is between Ollie Jonkers and the 304 of Latvia's Gustavs Uzakovs, who has actually raced under British and Latvian licenses over the span of his karting career, but has predominantly stayed with Latvia. He does also go back home to his native country. So have to give a shout out to Yanis Karashuks and his wife Yana. Hope you're both keeping well. They are getting their season underway very, very shortly. But now the pace is going to start increasing. Thomas Behrman in 5th, new fastest lap of the race. As I sense a little bit of urgency from Kai Hunter. Jaden Teen is now going to have to defend, but Hunter's going to fire it up the inside. That's allowed Bishop to close. I thought there was going to be one move that might give an opportunity to Macaulay Bishop to try and close on in. And right, there you go, there's the signal. That's the signal from Jaden Teen to Macaulay Bishop saying, right, we haven't got time, let's get him. And it was Kai Hunter who, with a minute and a half to go, decided, right, that's it. Mechanical black flag, Benjamin Van Hees. We've also got, along with Knud Nielsen, Devian Ross now out for the Kartstall Benelux racing team. But we are very much getting towards the end of the race day. And in 50 days' time, on the 24th of May, we'll be heading back to Karting d'Espagne for the second round of the championship. But with less than half a second covering the top three after what has been the ultimate in cat and mouse games. No one has played their full hand of cards onto the table, but we are going to go on to the penultimate lap of this race. Hunter leads, Teen in second, Bishop third, fourth is Buttle, Stevens is fifth, Hamilton ahead of Behrman, Babichkova, Ubben and Papasena round out the top 10. But our race leaders are making their way through out of turn number 9. Kai Hunter has got daylight. And he said to me, well, what about the points? Yeah, I told him about the situation. He said, what about the final? I said, that's the event podium. Top 3 in the final are on the podium. He went, well, I'm gunning for silverware. You know what? He seems to have kept his word to me on that one. And what a turnout it has been for the Hunter Motorsport crew. Of course, team manager and owner Reese is currently a Paul Fletcher International. But Macaulay Bishop fires it up the inside of teammate Jaden Teen. Oh, there's a little bit of a tussle between the pair. Oh, I don't like to see that between teammates. They are battling for second position, but now Kai Hunter is away and clear. The defending champion had a difficult start to the week, qualified towards the bottom part of the top 20. And the first race of the season ended up being caught out by Tom Lenoir. But when the dust has settled, the defending champion becomes the opening event winner of 2024. And it's a win in Europe for Hunter Motorsport. Kai Hunter brings it home by an advantage over the line after 17 laps. Hunter Motorsport have their first big major victory in Europe. And it's one of the brothers that does the business on the tarmac here at Karting Genk. Kai Hunter wins by 1.5 seconds after 17 laps. Jaden Teen's 100% success rate in terms of victory was denied this afternoon, but I can guarantee you he will be the overall points leader in this class, heading to Marienborg in in around about 6 weeks' time. And also, the Nator Racing Engines pick up their first power-based victory this season and also in Europe. Archie Buttle ends up fourth ahead of Armand Hamilton. Vic Stevens, Teresa Babichkova makes it 2 Hunter Motorsport drivers in the top 10 ahead of Thomas Behrman, who started 18th, finished 8th. Sverre Ubben and Elliot Papasena rounds out the top 10, having made up 14 places. So well done, another top 10 finish for the team at MKC Motorsport. Tom Lenoir, Jort van Wyk, Lawrence Herboz, Ollie Jonkers, Boluet, Gustav Zusakovs ran at the top 16 ahead of Ruben Verheyen, Julian Klosman, Sebastian Koch, and then Omar Ganoum starting 35th, finishing 20th. Freddie Ingram rounds out the top 21 ahead of George Nassar with Mika van der Pavet, Lauren Legault, Danny Shields, Mario Sidler, Benjamin Van Hees, Alex Duncan, Artyom Sestikovs, Tonis Johannes Tumingas, and Wout Kerstens being the last of the classified finishers. Devian Hus, we lost on lap 12. Robbie Storder, lap 8. Knud Nielsen and Matej Radenkovic at turn 7 on lap 5, with Jan Pinto out on lap 1 at turn 3. But Hunter Motorsport, Venata Racing Engines, welcome to the winner's circle here in Europe.